Unlike the Beatles, I don't want to hold your hand. My name is Bob Bianchi. I'm a partner at the Bianchi Law Group, and my team of former prosecutors fight the government when they charge our client with crimes. And there's a specific reason why I quoted the famous Beatles song, I Don't Want to Hold Your Hand. And it's something that is very, very important when you're considering legal services. We represent a very high-end clientele, and oftentimes they'll say to us, well, what are we buying? What is the investment in what is the value of what it is that your law firm can bring compared to other firms? Great question. And any great law firm, and there's a lot of really good law firms out there, would be more than willing to answer this question for you because they're proud of the services that they bring to you. Now, when I was the head county prosecutor appointed by the governor running a prosecutor's office, the chief law enforcement agency of the entire county in charge of all the police departments, all the municipal prosecutors, the county prosecutor's offices, we used to have a phrase, handholders. These were the attorneys that we knew in our profession that weren't the people who really took cases to trial. And I'm just saying what the reality of the world is like out there. It was a majority of the attorneys that were looking for a quick plea resolution. And we would say all they want to do is hold their client hand through the process, but there wasn't a lot of fight that was there. Now, listen, I'm not disrespecting these lawyers, but I think it's critically important, especially in today's world of advertising and fees that could be anywhere from very small to very large, just understanding what is the value of what you're bringing. If you want a qualitative law firm, a firm that has a team of people, a firm with multiple, for example, our firm, prosecutors who have worked in various areas, various different prosecutors' offices that meet 3 times a week to go over all the clients' cases to collectively discuss the nuances and best approaches, that has an appellate unit in it with appellate attorneys who specialize on the cutting legal edge of legal issues. I mean, during these huddles, we are literally coming up with legal issues, even myself after doing it all these years. Let's look this up. Let's check that out. Why is this important? I asked this question. Well, if you go to a surgeon, do you call up and you say, what is the least affordable surgeon that you have available? Of course not. It's too important. You want the best, and you know that you're going to pay for the best. Now, here's the trick. Here's the thing. You don't want to pay good money for bad services. So you really need to look into the skill set of your lawyer and the law firm. How many lawyers do they have? What is their support staff like? What is their philosophy of the law firm? Are they handholders that are going to collect a fee and try to work out the best deal they can with the prosecutor and then just plead the case? Or are they people that are going to take a qualitative look at the case to see if there's legal issues? Are they going to fight? Are they going to push back? Resistance is important. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, but that takes time. It takes nuance. It takes a team in order to leverage those optimal results. So just like the surgeon, who you don't want to say, give me the cheapest surgeon that you can find, just like the law firm, you want to find that firm that's going to be able to give you the best opportunity at a positive result. Now, no law firm can ever, this is something I deal with all the time, tell you ultimately what the outcome of a case is going to be. It is impossible to do. And I deal with this all the time with calls where people are like, well, the lawyer told me that I'm going to get pretrial intervention, or I'm going to get a dismissal. Or anybody that says that to you in the beginning of a case, with all due respect, run the other way. That is like, to use the analogy of the doctor that tells you the lump on your chest is going to be all right, even though they haven't done a biopsy, blood work, or x-rays. In other words, with us as lawyers, we need police reports, witness statements. We need to evaluate your case. So no, at the Bianchi Law Group, we don't want to just hold your hand. We want to walk you through a process deliberately, competently, capably, with a team of former prosecutors who are going to all go over your case to try to leverage the best and most optimal results you can get. So be careful when you're out there and you're making the selection on, I think, the second most important thing that you can do. You can look at all our videos, the 9 tips on how to hire a good criminal defense lawyer, but in order of importance is to remain silent. Let your lawyer speak for you if that's what you need to have happen down the road, and then hire the best lawyer that you can afford. But not all law firms are created equal, so look out for that. And here's something else, this last tip. I got to get it off my chest. We're hearing more and more that people are saying when they're beginning the representation, I didn't do it, or I'm innocent, or did it, but I didn't do as much as they're charged with, whatever it may be. Understand, before you plead guilty in the state of New Jersey, you're going to even accept a plea offer, assuming that's the right thing to do. You have to swear under oath to a judge and give what they call a factual basis as to what it is that makes you guilty of the offense. A judge cannot accept a plea in New Jersey unless you admit to your guilt and tell them what it is that makes you guilty of the offense. The prosecutor knows that, the defense lawyer knows that, and the judge knows that. So you need to ask your attorneys, will you go to trial if you say you didn't do it? Because we're hearing more and more at the Bianchi Law Group, people that are calling in and saying, I told my lawyer I didn't do this. I told my lawyer I wasn't going to plead guilty. Now they're jamming a plea down my throat and saying that they don't try cases, find another lawyer. Wow, 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 wow. Why is that? Because the lawyers that do that are handholders. They're not genuine, the Hoyle trial attorneys. Who do the prosecutors respect? Who did we respect when we were prosecutors? When we knew there was a problem in the case? Maybe it was a legal issue. Maybe there was a motion or an evidentiary issue we had to worry about. First question out of my mouth, who's the attorney? Why? Because we knew some attorneys were fighters and would slay the case in the courtroom. And unfortunately, we knew a lot that wouldn't. And that often made a critical difference in the outcome of the case. So I just wanted to get that out there. Always appreciate all of your support. Hope these videos are helpful. We love doing them. We love educating people on the process. And our clientele that are out there really respect and, obviously love what we do. So you or a friend has any issues, you need some help down the road, feel free to contact Bianchi Law Group. We practice in every county in the state of New Jersey. Be well.